good. Good to be alive.
Good to
Hey,
be
ladies.
live. Good to be in the evening time off of work.
Yep.
That too. That every day.
Yeah, that's a given. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Do y'all, I don't know how you accrue vacation time. Do you take all your vacation time in the course of the calendar year?
I haven't. I'm trying to.
So, do you, Keisha?
Well, since I'm in education, I have a set time that I have to, take vacation because naturally we have the summers off and then we have like a week, 2 weeks in the winter and then something in the spring. So I try to do something on those times. Yeah.
You try to take some kind of relaxation.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. The point that I'm making is I just, I ask because I just sometimes I
I
had
don't.
I had a conversation with my son about, taking your time from work, you know what I mean? Because it's just healthy to take your time, you know what I mean? And he that's what made me kind of think of this topic that we're going to discuss today. And he made a comment to me. He said, yeah, mom, but they don't look fondly upon you when you start taking weeks off at a time. I said, who is they?
He's telling the truth.
So, that's what I wanted to. So this topic we're going to talk about is surviving in the workplace in 2025 and the new corporate gaslighting and microaggressions. So like when Jose said that to me, I was like, hmm. I said, but you're not taking time without consent, right? I said, did they, approve the time? You know what I mean? He said, yeah, mom. He said, but it's just what they say before you even take it, even though it's availability, it's before you even take it. You know what I mean? And because you may not be looked upon favorably when it comes down to um exceeding expectation. So I had to have a conversation with, what do you mean that about that? Because your performance objectives are what
Hmm.
they are. I've never seen a performance objective that says if you take your vacation time, um, you're looked upon as somebody is not a loyal, exceeding, or just a great employee. So I just want to get, I know we're all in, well, me and Celeste are in like the government realm, you know what I mean? And you're in the education realm, Keisha. And Chauncey is not here on this one, but I just want to get just in your environment. Do you guys experience like just a gaslighting situation, or these little microaggressions that may be displayed to you, because in 2025 we're just in a whole different paradigm shift now. You see what I'm saying? Not that it wasn't happening in 2024, but I think it's more moving aggressively more in 2025. That's just my thought. But who gonna take the stage first? No, the porch first. Who gonna take the porch first?
Well, I want to say this too. Um, yes, corporations tend to say that to um to their workers. I think what I want to say is maybe for younger people or people getting established,
Mm-hmm.
I would say build a reputation first of business and making sure that you are that person that's there and do your work and is dependable, because first you got to build a reputation
Mm-hmm.
before, and then I think after a period of time that they know that you do work, that when you come here you're about your business,
Mm-hmm.
and that when you if you happen to be that person that's taking off, it's like, okay, I know that she needs this, or I know that she's not that person to take off every Friday or every Monday or whatever. That person, your immediate supervisor, knows that, okay, she needs this, and I know that she's a good worker. And I think first you have to build that reputation. Now, I may be just old school with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Um, but that's my initial thought when I was thinking as far as younger people in their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you all think?
Well,
So
I go ahead, Celeste.
this job,
'Cause-
so Kim and I worked in corporate America together. There, I'm not going to say the name of the company. They were firing people, and they called it laying off people on a regular, like
Mhm.
every month, every five. I mean, so you were afraid to take off
Mhm.
because one, this is just me. You got the type of jobs where you were the expert or the SME, so they call it. And so if you took off the whole week, now you got to show somebody how to do your stuff. And now when it's time to get laid off, you know what I'm saying? It was a whole lot of that. So you end up working all the time because you want to make sure to show your worth, to perform, and not have somebody there that can replace you because that's what they would do.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was it. So now at this job, it's not like that. My boss is really, really, he encourages you to take off time. The problem is that the job workload is so heavy that taking off a week, when you come back,
It's like impossible. Yeah, you got a mountain.
you come back to exhaustion. You're exhausted when you come back.
You're ready to go on the next
And
vacation.
you can almost never catch up.
Mm-hmm.
So now, is it worth it? So I have to get better with saying, yes, it's worth it. I have to get some rest. But when you come back, it's like, it's a punishment. So, and then they have sick time that they give us in the state. I don't know how yours work, Kim.
You accrue two different buckets, sick time and
Okay. And
Yeah.
the first year, I didn't accrue any time, so I was using my sick time. They
Mhm.
said, excuse me, we frown upon that. The sick time is there if you really need it, but you should never use all of it. I said, what? Yeah, that's what they told me. HR.
I say I'm sick, damn it. What you want me to do?
Frown upon that. If that becomes a pattern, we'll have to look at that. Yeah.
And yeah, so they do look at patterns and everything. That's why I said you have to.
But they gave you the sick time to use.
I know. I know.
That's the point that I'm
Like
making.
we have a thing like we
Distracted.
can't be out before a holiday or after a holiday because they
Yeah.
will take your holiday pay.
Uh-huh.
Right. That's something in education, right? So but you like again, if you to me, building that rapport, building up that I really get my work done, that I'm here. But like now, I can't say that. But anyway,
It's bad.
it's gonna get us.
I literally
feel like I need it. I used to be that person who just didn't take my time. Matter of fact, I got time on top of time. I can be out literally for a year and a half and just get paid. That's how much time I got off. The time I have accrued over the many years. But I'm finding more now that I will take off. But the thing about it, as far as your work going into another area, you have to develop some systems or some procedures in place to help that while you're there, to me, you have to create a way to do things that's less stressful for you. Find your little niche. If I need to do this, find a way that you can get your work done that's not stressful to you so you can be there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know.
So I'm going to speak from the a couple avenues or venues or whatever you want to call it. Young people,
Mm-hmm.
nah, they're not doing that shit. I'm just
Oh
telling
no.
you right now.
They taking their job. They taking their time.
They said they gonna take their time, and if you don't like it, they'll say deuces. Okay.
They gonna quit while they taking their time.
That's why I love them so.
I
I
look.
love
I
those
have
people.
you have
I
to
love
love
that
them.
bogus. I be like,
You think they're on vacation?
yes, man. So you better
You
stay
on vacation? They at the
there.
next
The
job.
mortgage man, so you better stay there. And
They either on vacation, do it. They done quit your job doing like this. Yo, fuck that job, man. They on video. They on job, please.
That's okay. That's my first point. I had to clear the air because I'm just telling you, we are good old seasoned workers. You know, we going be in there for the long haul. But I can tell you, I'm telling you, 30 on back, that ain't happening. That is not happening. I'm just saying, and I work in the federal government. There's a lot going on now. I try not to listen to the 30 and younger because what they say,
You would quit.
yeah, I'd be like, oh, yo, you know what I mean? Don't you know this
I
every
know.
season, cool out. Don't do that.
Sometimes when my child be telling me something at work, I be like, "Oh my God, my baby gonna get fired." But I just go ahead. I was like, "Just don't say it so rough. Just
Flat out
don't
and
say
say,
it so rough, because you gotta work.
You gotta work. You
It's
gotta
so
stop
rough.
that.
And
Did you,
my
you
baby
plan on
gonna
going in there and
get
telling your boss that? That's what you like. What?
fired."
mm-hmm.
That's where
But in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Yes, go,
I
and just
know,
don't
but I
don't
don't
go
tell them
too
that.
far, because you need to work."
Most of the time, I just sit like this when he talking. Like I'm like, I'm like, because I don't really want to break that spirit, but I don't
Right.
want to be insane either. You know what I mean? But it's a whole different ball game with them. I don't know, and then they don't have no problem with going on social media, just airing out whatever, and. Hey, if I don't have this job no more, I'll find something to do. I do Uber Eats or do something till I get something else.
They
I'm,
sure do.
I'm too old to be
I did.
riding and dropping off somebody Happy Meals. I'm just not going to do that. Okay, I'm too old. too, that means that means I gotta be up past 8:30 to drop off somebody's cheeseburgers meal or something. I'm not doing that. So I'm gonna try to cooperate.
I can see us now going like this. You're gonna
Work
come down
hard
these stairs.
with
I'm
people.
tired. I ain't going up.
And then you drop off a meal to somebody and they just give you a 50-cent tip. See, I'm gonna be angry. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not gonna put myself in that position. I just, I'm a withstand. I think that, I said this to my coworker. I said all the stuff that's going on with federal employees and things right now, what people should not do is sit and laugh at federal workers because they think
No,
it's entertaining or whatever.
it's
Because
not.
all this is a dog whistle for the private sector. You
Right.
better
Right.
know that
Practice
you're doing
there,
because
get
yeah,
over here.
we're
Yeah.
gonna, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do it worse because federal employees had a lot of protections around them, and
Right.
you ain't gonna have that. So while you're giggling and laughing, you're not even thinking when it come rolling your way and your boss say crazy crap out his mouth and tell you to do this or not to do this, or just don't come back into work, that changed a lot of things. I think it's a lot of things going on in 2025 that people should be aware of. But I think the young people can be hopeful. I'm gonna tell you because I be sitting back watching. You know what I mean? For somebody to say something curt out their mouth.
Well, with that, Kim, make
Uh-huh.
sure what I would tell people is make sure if somebody is saying something crazy out their mouth, make sure you stay professional. Don't jump off at them. Express your concerns and document everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you also got to set your boundaries too. If you doing something here and they say, "Oh, you got to work way past this time," unless you a deadline, and sometimes you do have to do some things extra, like they say, "Well, can you come on the weekend and do something? The children gonna do something?" No, if I'm gonna be there Monday through Friday, then no, I'm gonna be with y'all in spirit. I hope y'all have a great time with that. But no. No, and
Mhm.
I said that no, and then nobody asked me about that
You
anymore.
say you gonna be there in
No,
spirit.
I'll be there in spirit,
Right.
cheering you on. But I can't. If I'm going to be the best that I can be, that I'm going to have to at some point turn it off,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that I can come in the morning and turn it on. Just like I tell people, um I don't do late. I tell I don't do late. You know where they are. You drop them off.
Mm-hmm.
So you should know when to come in, pick them up. And I shouldn't have to call you because nothing changed here. What's changed is over there. You
Mm-hmm.
should let me know. See, that's boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell
Yeah,
them
that's
right
a
off,
good
you
one.
got to
That's a good
set, you got
one.
to set your boundaries.
That's a good one. Yeah, that is a good one.
And just like whatever your boundaries in your world, you got to set the boundaries what? To keep yourself peaceful.
Yeah, yeah,
Keep
pretty
peace
much.
here.
Yeah.
So, and we as people, we as supervisors and people who manage people, I will tell you this. I was just thinking, talking. Two things come to mind. One, there's an hour between that we have lunch.
Mm-hmm.
We get paid for lunch. And I almost insist that they take lunch.
That's a good boss.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be in the middle of something and I'll send an email because I'm still working. And the young man will answer. I said, why are you answering me on lunch?
Mm-hmm.
And I just says, no. You go take your lunch. I need you to take lunch. I will say that my boss kind of started that. I was big on that, but not until he had this conversation with me. So, last year I had a lot of death in my family.
Yeah.
And part of my healing was to keep moving, keep it moving, keep going. And he asked me, you need any time? And I kept saying no. And he asked me, did I need any time? And I kept saying no. And finally he said to me, your employees are watching you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, yes. He said, do you want them to think that here is more important than home?
Hmm.
And I said, what? That was insulted. I
That's really good. That's
really good.
It was like, no, that's not what we want them. We don't want them to think that you believe that if something like that happened to them, that they're supposed to work through it.
Right. That's true.
They're gonna-
So good.
because
That's good. And that's a rarity. That's a rarity.
I was insulted at first, and then I said, I get it.
You have to think about it
Mhm.
because that's true. And you make sure you live by that yourself, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, you gotta know when to cut that off. I agree with both of y'all. You gotta
Because
cut it
how
off.
are you going to fill up somebody else's cup, or what you're going to do if yours is completely empty?
Mhm.
You cannot.
I'm just gonna take some time off and drink my
Work-life balance.
I wouldn't do.
It
Um,
is.
It has to be a balance. Somewhere you got to take a breather.
and I'm telling you,
Somewhere you gotta have some fun.
Mhm.
Somewhere you
you
gotta
have to have fun.
solitude.
Yeah, you have
Somewhere
to.
you gotta have some peace. Somewhere you gotta read something, read a book, or do something by yourself. Even if you have a doctor's appointment and just leaving a hour or so earlier. Just that. Have you noticed, if you ever done that, have you noticed that when you leave the building earlier than what you're supposed to, even though it's something else that you have to do, maybe a doctor's appointment, whatever,
Mhm.
that you actually feel like that I'm a little free. I mean,
You know what I
know, it lifts you up. Like, I'm getting out of here a little bit early, even though I'm going to the doctor and they might have to draw blood or whatever.
Mhm.
I feel a little better because I got out of there a little earlier. So it makes me feel a little lighter. It makes me,
You know what I be noticing
stimulates me.
early? That little sunlight out there, because I be leaving dark at night.
Right.
When I leave early, I be like, oh, it's
That's
beautiful.
another
how I
thing
feel
too.
now, though. I go to work, it's dark outside. When I get home, it's dark. You know what I mean? So when I say this, like I mean this wholeheartedly. I guess because I'm at this age now, I wasn't like that when we worked at the place we worked at together. Celeste, I was not like that. And
Oh,
I think I was just so much more uptight because I was just, it was goal finding, goal stretching. You know what I mean? Just
right.
to, you compete with your own stuff, really. But what I realized is that not to feel healthier, not to feel good about my own self. Everything starts to slip away. You see what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, they will show you who they really think you are to them. You know what I mean? You gotta, when people say take your time off. Because when I used to tell people this story, when it was a person that was working at the place we worked at, and they were terminally ill, and they came up into the building even with the IV pole and medication and everything. Yeah, I'm joking. I'm not joking on this. This is a true story. And with their pole and everything, taking chemotherapy at their desk, okay?
Mhm.
And they used to have the most awful disposition about them because they should have been home in the bed trying to savor the days that they had. Actually came out building and fell and was not around for another week. And their children came up to the building to get their belongings, right? And they would say, oh, she was a wonderful worker, blah blah blah. When them children was walking out the door, the person up at the main desk said, hey, so and so, moving to that desk.
Yeah.
Just like that. And
Mhm.
that stuck with me like glue. I was like, if
Yep.
you think you so super important, and not to say that you should not cherish your job, because you should, because that to me is actually, that's just something that Christ-like, because you get all your blessings, you know what I mean? So you should never abuse any of it. But if you think that that job is going to care about you when you 6 feet under, they'll send that peace lily to your family, and somebody will talk about you about a week or two, and then it's over. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's over.
Yeah. Run business. Yeah. That's exactly.
I'm just saying. So it's like, I think we live in a time where that they probably don't even send a peace lily now. They probably just send you a chia pet or something like that for somebody to freaking have. You know what I mean? Or and on the card that everybody just scribble their name on. It's like they don't even give out like awards anymore. My husband with his job 30 years. I was like, did you get a 30-year like gift or something? No, they did away with that. They tell you that that little gift and all that corporate profit they making, they couldn't still continue that. Everybody's not reaching goddamn 30 years every day. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, it's just like, take your time, do you, and that should not. And I agree with everything y'all saying, and I just hope y'all hear me. Young people not going for the BS. Older people have to realize that the building is gonna be okay when you're not there. You know what I mean? And take your time, okay? And make sure that, like you said, Keisha, people out here with gaslighting and microaggressions and something, all that crap they got going on now. Microaggressions to me is probably the biggest thing that's going on. You make sure you document everything. Documentation, you know what? Because usually people that's the offender, they take for granted that you know how to work the system too. You see what I'm saying? Work it in your own favor, because anybody can end up in court. Y'all do know that, right? Anybody can end up in court for
CC everybody when you write it.
CC everybody.
Right.
Because
CC everybody.
we in the society where we like to put people on blast. I put you on blast too, okay? You know what I mean? And I have so many more stories, but I'm not gonna go into that. But final thoughts.
Well, my final thoughts are, now that I'm in this conversation, are you could be a part of the solution too, because I do practice, life work balance with my direct reports. So I'm gonna keep
So glad you say that, Celeste. I'm proud of you. I don't want to manage nobody. I'll just be honest. I just want to go to my seat, do my
it's
work, and
exhausting.
yeah, I don't want to do that no more. You know what I
Exhausting.
mean? I'm done with that part of life. I just want to click the light off on the computer, get my
Yeah.
pocketbook, and leave. You know what I mean? But don't forget, during that 8 hours, that 10 hours I work a day, I did go above and beyond, and I have to get better with the simple fact of taking my lunch break, stuff like that. Because usually I don't do that. You know what I mean? I'm working straight through.
Well, you're at home, but at work, I will tell you this in final thoughts. I practice. I've been doing it for years. I know you remember conscious eating.
Hmm.
And they go, what's that? I said, when I'm eating lunch, do not come talk to me. Do I
That's
come talk
right.
to you while you eating lunch?
That's
Now,
right.
take my hour, but I close my door. I put my music on. I be in there, and I close my door. They knock. Got a second? No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't
I
want you
have to I have to
over
do
me.
better with that, really. Like,
No.
I mean, and when I go into the office, I still don't eat. I'm still working straight through, because my job is not that kind of I can cut off. You know what I mean? Usually I'm so involved with so many different other things, but I can, you know what I mean? Because I need to judge my time accordingly. You see what I'm saying? But
But do you remember what you eat when you eat like that?
I hardly ever eat.
Taste the food? Do you even? No, I be one with the doggone chicken. Ooh, girl, this chicken good. Because if not, I could really be eating just to be eating.
Right.
No.
I
Mm-mm.
do make sure I have some snacks, like some fruit and stuff like that, because I told you I intermittent fast, but I need to by noontime. I need to be having something. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a bad behavior you can get into real quick. You see what I'm saying? Real quick. And I guess the whole gamut of this is, be more aware of what is yours. You know what I mean? Time, your responsibilities, uh um in relationships, on jobs. You know what I mean? Your perception of what that job is should be guided by what they require of you. It shouldn't be adding extra stuff where you are basically mistreating yourself. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, life goes on with or without you. I mean,
Mhm.
that's the sum of it. So, okay. That was my final thought. Who did I miss? Keisha.
So my final thought would be, if it's bad or you have a toxic environment, find some positive mentors, some
Mhm.
some positive influences that you can work with or try to help you through different situations.
Mhm.
And if that doesn't work,
Mhm.
then know when to leave.
Know when. Oh, you ain't said nothing but the truth.
You know, you know, me and Kim quit in a minute.
Know when to leave.
You thought I was 22. Look, yeah, I ain't go for that. You know what I mean? I ain't go for that. All right. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing. All right. Joining me tonight is.
It's your girl Celeste, and this is part of taking care of yourself. So
Yeah, it is.
first is taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
This is your girl Keisha, learning and growing in my own lane.
All right. And I'm your girl Kimmy. Join us next Wednesday when we drop a new episode. Have a wonderful week on work purpose, and we'll see you then. Take care.